At it again, and we've got a topic of discussion that has been brought up several times here on this channel, and should be talked about a whole lot more just across the nation in general. But before we hop into these two video clips, so make sure you guys stick around. I got two video clips for you guys today. Hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed to the channel already, hit that subscribe button down below and join the family. All right, join the family, and make sure you guys are following me on social media: Instagram, Twitter, Truth Social, Discord server. All of those links are in the description box below. And with all that being said, let's dive in.
So scary but true, a massive cover-up is underway in our education system across this country. American students fall below grade level standards in huge numbers. But do you hear a lot about it, or does it get swept under the rug? That is the warning from Professor Nicholas Giordano.
We've created a system where we're just cycling students through the system, and that's become one of our biggest problems because we see what's happening. I mean, we are the wealthiest nation. We're the sole superpower of the world, at least for now. How long do you think that's going to be going forward?
Not very long at this rate. Not very long.
If we don't fix this problem. And what really is mind-boggling to me, and I can't seem to get a grasp on it, is why don't we speak about it as much as we should be speaking? This should be one of the top issues within the country, and yet most people remain silent about it.
Yep. You know the crazy part about all of this, especially folks on the left, they'll speak more about tragedies happening, right, at some of these schools, like the more recent one that was like front page news for 3 weeks, and rightfully so. It was a very, very tragic situation. But they'll talk about that all day long, all day, every day. They'll never talk about test scores and how we're actually failing the students academically, though. Never. I've yet to hear MSNBC or CNN talk about that. Not a once. Let's continue on.
Yeah, we've just gone through a campaign process where you heard precious little about this problem in the country. Here now, Nicholas Giordano, Campus Reform Higher Education Fellow. He's a current political science professor at Suffolk Community College in New York. Mr. Giordano, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
I want to start quickly by putting this up. This is what you put on the screen when your students start at the beginning of the semester. Who is the Speaker of the House? Which branch of government has the power to declare war? Who's considered the father of the Constitution? And how many Supreme Court justices are there? How did they do on this exam?
Most will fail it. Out of all
I was going to say they'll all fail. They'll all fail.
Students I have, you get about a 10%, 11% pass rate, and then I'll give them the Russian Constitution to see if they could identify that they're not really reading the United States Constitution, and they can't identify that either. They don't see it. So something is...
Whoa. Now I knew it was bad. I knew it was bad. We all knew it was bad, right? It's basically common knowledge to any sane-minded folk, right? But 10% know the answers to those questions? 10%. My guess was going to be 25, right? 20. So 1/4, 1/5 of students know the answers to those questions. 10. 1 out of every 10. And depending on the classroom size, we'll say the classroom size is 20 people. What? That is embarrassing. And then to put the Russian Constitution in front of them, and they don't even know that they're not even looking at. Goodness gracious. Yeah. Holy crap. That's
State's Constitution, and they can't identify that either. They don't see it. So something is broken within the K through 12 system, I noticed, because I've been doing this for the last 12 years, and it really has become a problem that's metastasized. And then I look at the proficiency levels, and they're at absolute historic lows now. But even worse than that, these proficiency levels have been flat for about 30 years. This is the first year we're seeing the decline. At the same time, we've seen standards drop, students reading less, and their grades are going up. So it doesn't really make sense. And all we've done is create a system where we cycle students through so that they get the piece of paper. And this is something that has a critical effect on our nation that we cannot survive. We need a robust public education system.
that is being done intentionally. It's easier to control a population when they aren't as intelligent. I'm just saying.
Need it because an education system is designed to give us a sense of civic obligation, to teach us how to be productive members within society and instill some type of human decency. Without it, you don't have a civil society, and that's where we're headed right now. And as the government has expanded into education, as we're pouring more and more money into it, the results are getting worse and worse and worse. But parents have woken up to it.
Yeah, Dr. Jill Biden and the First Lady is out on the campaign trail today with Randy Weingarten, who we have interviewed many times. We've talked a lot about what happened during COVID and the learning loss that is so dramatic. But what really horrified me when I looked at these new numbers is exactly what you're saying, that where we started in 2019 was already pathetic. It was middle of the road. Like if the score is 0 to 500, we were already at around 235. In these scores. So what is going on here? And what, we only have a few minutes and I want to have you back because I want to dig in on this. What do you think is the solution here? What do we do? This is an emergency.
It is an emergency, and it's actually worse than that because the proficiency levels are between 13 to 25% depending on the subject. And the reality is no other industry you would tolerate that. But here we are. And so what we need to see is
13 to 25.
And again, so American students fall between 13 and 25%.
Correct.
Are proficient
American history,
in math and reading.
Basic proficiency.
Basic proficiency.
So in American history, it's 13%. In reading, it's about 25%. Math, it's about 23%. Civics, it's about 23%. And that's an
Those are all
absolute
Fs,
disaster.
by the way. Those
Correct.
are Fs.
Correct. And students are still getting through. That's the amazing part. And so we need to completely revamp the system. I mean, we need to stop with the ideologues controlling education. We need to stop with the bureaucracy pushing the curriculums down people's throats. Let teachers develop curriculums that want to teach and actually know what education is about. We need to get parents more engaged, and we need to change the mindset of the student body. And those are just obviously superficial. We could go in depth in each one of those. That would take time. But the reality is what we're doing has been working for over 30 years. We continue to do it. And finally, it's getting some attention that the $1.3 trillion that we're investing each and every year isn't producing the results that you would expect.
You might as well just throw it down the garbage.
Correct.
Really. I mean, one of the things that shocks me is what you're saying. We keep pushing. I heard from 2 different universities this year that they were intaking students who had the highest grade point averages that they've ever taken in. And they were really proud of that. The problem is that it's grade inflation.
Correct.
So during COVID, it was like, oh, you know what, just give him a B, even though he deserves a D. And so now their grades are higher, but they haven't learned the material.
No, and in the 1970s, the average GPA was 2.5. Today, it's 3.1. Even though we have the lowest standards.
There you go. Dr. Giordano, thank you very much. It's great to have you with us. Nicholas Giordano, we'll continue the conversation. Thank you.
Wow. Absolute crisis, right? And it needs to have more attention brought to it. And it's a shame to have to sit back and watch all of this happen and, be accused of being a horrible person because you try to offer up solutions and say, hey, we need to get this woke crap out of the schools, right? We've checked out videos. Shout out to Project Veritas. We've checked out videos of teachers admitting, hey, twice a week, 3 days out of the week, we talk about this woke crap. She didn't say woke crap. I forgot what she said, but it was something that had nothing to do with reading, writing, science, or math. I think at one teacher even admitted, hey, we teach kids how to protest. What? And obviously you see the fallout from it. That statistic on the 70s, average GPA being 2.7 and now 3.5. Just like, whoa, wait, what? Kids get 3.5s? If these kids getting a 3.5, man, I would have had a 4.0 easy. I would have been off the scales, okay? They would have had to create a whole new scale for me. College admissions, 5.0. How'd you get that? They stupid. But I've got another video, as to what we are focusing on more than actual academics. Let's dive into it.
Have you ever noticed that liberals have a problem with patriotism? They want athletes to kneel during the anthem. They want to do away with the pledge. And now apparently they have a problem with the flag. It happened at my alma mater, Trinity. A student hung an American flag outside his dorm, which had a blue stripe for the cops, a red stripe for the firemen, and a green stripe for the federal agents. But the dean didn't like this one bit. And they had someone go to the dorm and rip down the kids' flags. But here's the problem. Apparently, no one did anything about the pride flags hanging up everywhere on campus. In fact, the college celebrated those. It's the patriotic flags outside the dorms that have to go. You see, the handbook says they're a safety concern. Watch this.
Excuse me? Why are you guys touching our property?
You were asked to take it down.
Who are you touching our flags? You have no right to do this. Why?
Put your phone away.
Absolutely not. I have every right to record, and you know that. This is America. We have the First Amendment right of freedom of speech, freedom of expression. So are you going to take down the other flags?
Everyone's being asked to take them down.
So they're being asked, but our flags are being ripped off. So what about that flag right there? Why aren't you guys taking that one first?
I'm waiting to hear directives from our deans. A message is going to be going out.
What do you mean you're waiting to hear from our dean? You just took our flags down. Excuse me, I'll take my flags. Thank you
They're
very
going to go
much.
to the dean's office.
I'll take my flags.
Do not touch me.
I bought these. You're not taking my property. This is stealing.
She keeps mentioning the dean. Who is the dean? Well, if they're anything like the president of the college, it makes sense. You see, Trinity President Sweeney isn't a fan of Waters, but I'm not going to get into that right now. The good news is President Sweeney noticed that this little flag incident got a little traction, and now she feels bad about it. She sent out a little email to all the students saying, quote, "As I understand the matter, an apology was issued on the same day of the removal to the students who own the flags for the manner in which the policy was enforced. We will work harder to ensure greater awareness and consistent compliance moving forward," yada, yada, yada. Well, we reached out to the Patriots who got their flags taken down. Lucas Turco and Finn McColl join me now. So, other flags are hanging. What kind of flags do they have hanging?
Well, they had LGBTQ flags. They had transgender flags, BLM flags, which, you know, we have no problem with any of those flags hanging. We believe everyone has a right to their own opinion and their own beliefs, and that everyone should be able to put their flags up. And so me and Finn thought, why don't we put up some flags that we personally believe in?
And what kind of flag was it? You guys had the Blue Lives Matter kind of flag?
Yes,
the
we had-
Don't Tread on Me?
Yes, we had a Don't Tread on Me American flag, symbolizing our love of freedom, love of equality for all people. And of course, the green line, red line, blue line flag that showed our respect, our reverence for first responders, our family members, our firemen, police officers.
Well, thank you guys to your family.
Yeah, of course.
Did they explain how that flag was a security threat?
Security, I don't really think that they mentioned that. They said that the reason that they were taken down was because some people viewed the flags as offensive.
Ooh.
And I think that's absolutely a shame that those flags could be offensive when, you know, they're just about loving our country and the people who protect us.
What happened to Trinity? When I was there was no politics. It was just drinking and sports. The squash team was good. The football team was good. And that's all anybody cared about. Now there's like some sort of radical flag action.
Sad, yeah, it's sad. I mean, from our conversations with the dean, they seemed, you know, very open to apologizing with us, but it doesn't change the fact of what you saw in the video there. I mean, it's a sad state of affairs, but, you know, we don't hold hate in our hearts for these people. The incident occurred, but, you know, we're open to having productive conversations with them going forward.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for having us on.
All right, good job. Way to stand up.
We would rather focus on inclusivity, making sure everyone is comfortable, than actual academics. That is in part why our test scores and our students aren't as smart as what they used to be. You saw it there. That was just one clip, right? That was just one recent clip that I could pull up that displayed why things are going downhill. Now, obviously, we could pull up more clips. We could definitely pull up more. But like I said, that was just a recent one that I want to say that happened, like that story broke like yesterday, day before yesterday. So it's brand new. You know, and they were all fine with tearing the flags down, right? As long as those two guys sat back and were quiet and the story didn't break out. Do you think that university, the dean or the president would have apologized? Do you think they would have sat down and had a conversation with those two gentlemen? Absolutely not. And it wasn't, and you heard the truth come out there at the end, right? Because the lady at the beginning that was tearing down the flag said, it's against policy, blah, 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 blah. And the other lady kind of told on herself because they asked, hey, why isn't that flag being taken down? Oh, we're waiting to hear back from the dean, blah, blah, blah. Oh, so if you're waiting to hear back from the dean, why are you here taking down mine? But if you notice, the truth came out at the end. People saw that flag as threatening. And that is part of the problem with our education system. We're focusing on inclusivity and making people feel comfortable. And we're not focusing on what we should actually be focusing on: reading, writing, science, and math. And then obviously, when it comes to college, higher education subjects. And on a lower level, if you want to dive deeper into that, how did those kids get there? How did they get to that mindset? It was put in them. K through 12. Remember the teacher that I spoke about earlier, who literally on camera, mind you, on camera, admitted to teaching kids how to protest? What? Admitted to teaching kids woke crap 3 days a week? That's 2 days of relevant subjects and topics. 2. And students that get offended about the American flag, students that get offended about Blue Lives Matter, right? Supporting our first responders. That's what those type of woke teachers, those are the type of students that those teachers produce. Teachers that are students that get offended by the American flag, the place where you live. And I'm so happy that this story got national attention, and I want to bring even more attention to it so that either all flags are taken down immediately and never to be displayed again, or anybody and everybody can display whatever flag they want to. Those gentlemen didn't seem like hateful individuals. Hey, we support anybody and everybody being able to hang whatever flag they want to, LGBTQ, BLM, whatever. Hang whatever flag you want to, but let me hang mine. If you're not going to let me hang mine, then I don't want you to hang yours. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's just be fair. That's fair, right? But of course, these folks they truly don't want fair, and that's the issue. They talk about fairness and equality and all this stuff, and that's not really what they mean. They want superiority. They want to hold some type of dominance over folks, and that is part of the problem. But as always, y'all let me know what you thought about this one in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.